I used to count my success for what I could do, only to realize it was all just a fluke. It's like what that holy book said. What is success if everything else is dead? People would gather and I thought I had won, only to realize I was chasing after something so numb. Just like in Disney, I was taking my deep sleep, only to wake up and truly see myself as weak. Suddenly, nothing was the same, and I began to see my best friend as truly insane. A vision once so innocent and right turned into Cain and Abel, which led to a fight which one would smite the other from seeing the light, and from this I became blind. No, really, I no longer had my sight. Unexpectedly, I felt like Paul persecuting the good, and certainly not doing what was right or what I should. So I begged for forgiveness because I knew I couldn't live like this. And then his mighty voice spoke, and suddenly every chain that was once on me immediately broke. A flash of light and forgiveness paid full. My Savior had rescued me from drowning like a fool. But still, brokenness was certain, for the enemy hid behind an ugly old curtain. He was on the prowl, of that I am sure, and my friendship with Tylor was still so impure. Seeing eye to eye seemed so impossible, and night after night I was sure to toss and turn. Because how could he say what he did? How could he walk out of this brotherly love? Something I'd hoped to dive into like Jonathan and David was twisted into something so evil and raven. You look into my eyes and you call me a fraud? Have you forgotten to love with your heart, with it all? You've proven Psalms right, for your words truly do plot destruction, sharp like a razor. They destroy the sweet moments that I used to savor. They cut through my heart as I struggle to save her, and you could care less, seeing me as some traitor. And my God, if you are so good, if your plans are so right, then where are you now? How could you let such evil win this fight? I want to believe that you are good and that your plans are perfect, but why must I hurt? I can't help but search this. I cry out at the top of my lungs, but my suffering has defeated me. It's as if I'm being hung. Because what's the point? I yell as though I've been stung, but no one knows this. They treat me as if I'm too young. My soul is broken, but I know I can't show this, because the world we live in says to mask it. It tells me the strong survive and the weak go in the casket. Or is that just another line? Everyone wants to act like they're just fine, but the reality is we're all searching, we're all hurting, because nothing will fill us up like the way we're designed. Only God himself can breathe and make us feel alive. And he says, oh, you want to be the boss? Then stop thinking it's all about you and pick up your cross. Because I didn't die for soft Christianity. Oh, I died for you, don't get me wrong, but my plan for you was so much greater than just some worship song. It was so that you could save many, not through your gifts, but through your humility. Not through your flesh, but through my Trinity. So stop thinking it's all about you. Die to yourself, and you'll finally feel true. And just like that, I shattered. But it's not like what you'd think. You see, it was in that moment that I realized something. I had been living my whole life afraid to blink. The fear was so real I couldn't even open my eyes. And all that I would do was listen to the lies. I knew it had to be done. The journey would be impossible to man, but this journey was a part of his divine plan. He said, love your brother more than yourself. Only then will you truly resemble myself. So we met and wept. We looked at one another at a loss, removing the pride no matter the cost. We cried out to God and allowed him to thrive. The time became sacred, call it communitas. We opened up our hearts and the Lord was inside. For he is the true restorer. And now, we are alive. We are alive.